there is no free will for us to choose, all right, we're going to go here, we're going to go there, because we can't surprise God.
Just because God knows something's going to happen because his perspective is outside of time and space does not mean that he forces everything to happen.
Delusion and faith are no different. The only difference is that faith deals with religion, delusion deals with everything else.
Is faith just a nicer word for delusion? A student throws the dictionary at Cliffe, says faith and delusion are literally the same thing. Belief with no evidence, no proof, just blind commitment to someone else to be real. Cliffe doesn't flinch. His counter? A parent who could control every move their child makes, but chooses not to. That's not weakness. That's love making room for someone else to be real. He says God works the same way, all-powerful, but choosing restraint, so freedom means something. Then the student stops arguing philosophy and starts demanding an answer. He allows the Holocaust to happen. That makes him no better than the guy sitting in jail. That's the line that changes everything. This isn't a word definition debate anymore. It's an accusation aimed straight at God's character. So, which is it? Is faith just delusion in disguise? Or is there something the dictionary can't capture? Watch how Cliffe responds, then drop your verdict below.
If he's omniscient, then he knows every choice that we're going to make. As novel and as new and as spontaneous as we think it is, we're not omniscient. We don't know the future. God does.
Right.
He knows every choice that we're ever going to make. So therefore, obviously, there is no free will for us to choose, all right, we're going to go here, we're going to go there, because we can't surprise God. He already knows everything. Now, for that path to have been laid out, it was either God or someone else. Well, obviously, there is no other God but God, so it had to have been him. He created our lives, every choice that we think we're going to make. Obviously, we don't have the choice, therefore. He created it for us. There is no free will. He established everything for us. If he's omniscient, that has to be the case.
Okay, then obviously the question is, what does God's omniscience mean? Does it mean fatalism? That he has determined everything that happens?
Well, if he's omniscient, then he has to. If he knows all, then he has to know everything, including every little choice that we think we're going to make.
Yeah, but just because God knows something's going to happen because his perspective is outside of time and space does not mean that he forces everything to happen.
He allows it to happen. He allows the Holocaust to happen.
He allows it to happen.
Horrible things to happen, which makes him no better than the guy who's rotting in jail.
I disagree, because the alternative to God giving us free will is for God to determine everything that we do. And if God determines everything we do, we're no longer human. We're machines.
Which is the determination you have to come to if you look at it logically.
No.
See, it's either you look at it logically and you find out that God is no better than the guy who's sitting in jail, or you step back and say, I'm going to turn off my mind, I'm just going to believe wholeheartedly, which is faith. When you look in the dictionary, you find that delusion and faith are no different. The only difference is that faith deals with religion, delusion deals with everything else. It's an unquestioned belief that requires neither objective evidence or any type of proof whatsoever. You believe in it wholeheartedly despite whatever anyone else says. Delusion and faith are exactly the same. Just because you can distinguish between religion and everything else, that makes no difference. They're still the same thing. So to believe wholeheartedly that God is all good, he's all powerful and can stop anything, that he knows all, therefore there is no free will, you can just ignore that and say, I'm going to believe in God and everything he does is good. Or you can look at it logically and say, God is not all good. He is, to put it lightly, because he has the power, he has the knowledge, yet he does nothing. So it raises four possibilities, because one kind of goes into the other. It's either God is not omniscient, God is not omnipotent, God doesn't love us, God doesn't care, which kind of goes into God doesn't love, or he doesn't exist. One of those five has to be true, or more than one.
All right. So what I hear you saying is, the only possibility, if God is all-powerful, is for him to always exercise that power to the max.
My parents would, because they love me that much.
All right, think about the Allies during Desert Storm. The Allies during Desert Storm had the power to level Baghdad, to destroy the place. They chose to limit their power. I obviously believe that the all-powerful God chose to partially limit his power by creating us free. For you to call that illogical is illogical. If you can't understand the ability that a free, powerful army, police officer, God has to choose to limit his power, then you're not thinking logically. Well, obviously, it's possible that I could be maybe more powerful than him and have a gun. All right? But if I have a free will, I can choose to limit my power and allow him to smack me and not pull out the gun and blow him away.
Well, first off, the example that you use about Desert Storm, we can level everything with nukes, but we're not going after civilians, we're going after the military. So we could level back that up.
So we limit our power.
But the thing is, if God loves us as much as our parents love us,
yes,
and he has the ability to keep us from being hurt, just like our parents would, he would step in to keep us from at least being hurt. What's the point of suffering and going to heaven? Like, if we can go to heaven, like, regardless, why wouldn't he just do that for us? What's the point of living here in the first
place? Let me ask
you
something.
Just going to go to heaven?
Let's say that you've been dating a young lady for 2 months. The young lady's communicated, I love you. Tonight your dad calls you up and says, son, I've been paying her $1,000 a week to date you. You'd be royally bummed out. Why? Because love, in order to be real, has got to be free. If it ain't free, it ain't love. Now, the Bible reveals that God created us to love him. Love, in order to be real.
Why is God so needy? Why does he need us to love him?
God doesn't need me to love him.
You just said he created us for us to love him.
Right.
Why did he create anything for him to be loved?
Because
if he's all powerful and he's all great, why is he so beholden onto someone else to love him? It makes him a little needy, doesn't it?
God doesn't need you. I don't mean to offend you. God does not need you, and he doesn't need me.
Honestly, he does.
All right? But God chose to create us as personal beings, not as little puppets, not as computers.
To love him.
To live in a relationship of love. You take love out of the equation, and life gets real empty real fast.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Thank you. It sure does.
But you said that God created us to love him.
Right.
Why does God need anyone to love him?
He doesn't need us to love him.
Then why did he create us?
I don't know why he created us, that's for sure. He didn't consult me. I can promise you that. But what Jesus did reveal is that God created us for the purpose of loving God and loving each other. Now, love has got to be free, otherwise it ain't love. You cannot force love.
Well, if you don't love God, like if you don't accept Jesus Christ into your heart, don't you end up going to hell?
If you choose to live your life separate from God's love, he's not going to force you against your will to spend eternity with him in heaven. That'd be horrible, wouldn't it?
Well, no one forces you to like say, all right, you have to do it, but if they put a gun to your head, you're still not really being forced to, but realistically, you're going to.
Really?
You say, love me or I'll shoot you. All right, I'll love you. All right.
Isn't the university horrible?
All right, I'll love you. It's the same idea.
Isn't the University of Florida horrible? The way they've told you guys that if you flunk all of your exams, you're going to flunk out of this place. Isn't it incredible the way the University of Florida is holding a gun to your head? Garbage, guys. Part of growing up means you understand there are consequences to my decisions. If I'm going to go out and play in traffic, I'm going to end up on the bumper of a bus or a car. If I don't study, if I just party, I'm going to flunk out of this university. Not because the university has a gun to my head, but because there are consequences to my free decisions.
Going to hell is a little stiff, don't you think?
I was kind of wondering why.
Going to hell is simply the result of me telling God, get out of my life. And so God says, no problem. I respect your free will, but I'll get out of your life.
But I'll send you to hell.
No, hell is a natural consequence of living your life separate from God.
Well, if he gives you free will and he's an all-forgiving God, why can't you choose to like live without him and not end up going to hell? Because God forgives everything except not loving him. Why is he so needy when it comes to that?
Okay, it's real simple. I steal this guy's backpack. He says to me, hey, Cliffe, why'd you steal my backpack? And I say, there's nothing wrong with stealing your backpack. He says, look, Cliffe, I offer to forgive you. I say, forgive me? Get lost, Jack. I have done nothing wrong. The guy can offer me forgiveness till he's blue in the face. But if I'm not willing to say, my man, you're right. I stole your backpack. That was wrong. Would you please forgive me? If I don't do that, reconciliation, the restoration of this relationship is not going to occur. I need to look the man in the face and say, man, I stole your backpack. I'm the guy who did it. it was wrong. I'm sorry. Would you please forgive me? And then he says, yes, I forgive you. And we're reconciled. Well, the same is true with God and me. I've sinned. God all forgiving. What does that mean? It means he offers me forgiveness, but if I don't ask for that forgiveness, the restoration of our relationship does not take place.
Well, if he's all forgiving, he won't ask you to forgive him in the first place.
Well, then God's not all forgiving as you define all forgiving.
If it's all forgiving, there's like no...
He's not all forgiving as you define all forgiving. Forgiveness implies someone's got to be sorry for what they've done and ask for that forgiveness. And that's what God is. He offers forgiveness to every single one of us, but we have to humble ourselves and ask him for forgiveness in order for that forgiveness to take place.
But we can't just necessarily, why can't we just be good people, be kind to everyone else, and live without God and still go to heaven?
We can.
We can be a little Adolf Hitler and still hold God in our heart and go to heaven.
If you live a morally perfect life, you don't need Jesus. You don't need anybody. You're a morally perfect person.
But Eve sinned. So naturally, as soon as we're born, we're automatically screwed up.
No. I'm not going to hell because of what Adam and Eve did. Neither are you.
Everyone else I've heard says yeah.
No. I live my own life. Adam and Eve lived their own life. You live your own life. Now, if you live a morally perfect life, you're going to go to heaven. But if you're like me, if you have sinned, if you've done evil, then you better ask Christ for forgiveness because you've blown it. But if you're a morally perfect person, you don't need Jesus, you don't need anybody. You're a morally superior individual.
But how does loving Christ automatically absolve every other wrong you've done?
Okay, good question. Very good question. When Jesus bled and died on the cross, it was after having lived a sinless life. He did not deserve to die, but he claimed that he died as a sacrifice to pay the just penalty for our wrongdoing, for our sin.